Hi, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks for joining us this morning. Angeles City, is it still the number one spot for us? And would we recommend it and why? 10 reasons why. That's what we're going to go through today. And to us, they're the 10 most important reasons that you should use as the foundation of your search. So let's get started.
I never got it, why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
So let's get started. Okay, yes, indeed. Angeles City is still our number one recommendation for you to start at least in your search here in the Philippines for moving to and or retiring. And keep in mind that what we're going through, these things are based on living here, not vacationing. Being on vacation here is totally different than living here. And if you've been on vacation before, we still recommend Angeles City because living is so much different. But what makes Angeles any better? Or why is it better? Well, let's talk about that. First off, we have three major hospitals here. You can get almost everything done here that you can get anywhere else except at a couple of major institutions in a few cities. So if you want cardiothoracic surgery, you're not going to get that here. Do you need stents? Yeah. Do you need dialysis? Yeah. Do you need high-end diagnostic imaging and testing? Yeah. You've got all of that here. Number 3, it's got a modern international airport, which may not sound like much to you, but think about this for a second. Have you ever transited through NAIA, N-A-I-A, Manila? It's a god darn cluster fuck. It really is. It's a disaster in that place. It's never functional, never reasonable. Customer service is terrible. The check-in queues, all the queues are terrible. I just can't go through all the things that are bad about it. It's rated one of the worst airports in the world. However, here we have Clark International, a modern, recently finished, and yet still going to expand international airport. Now, it is limited, that's true, but you can get from point A to point B pretty easy. You want to jump over to Hong Kong, you want to jump over to Thailand, you want to jump to the U.S., you can do all of that. You want to jump through to the U.K., flights are available and all this, and they keep adding more and more flights. It's fast. Oh my God, so much nicer, so much better because it doesn't have the crowds. And if you live here and you fly in and out of Clark, from the time you pick up your bags, which will take a third at most of the time baggage claim takes at NAIA, 15 minutes later, you're at home. NLEX, SC-TEX, and incoming high-speed rail. A lot of people won't have transportation. Now, Arlen and I, we have our own vehicles, all right? But you may want to rent a van. You may want to get a driver. 15 minutes from our place, you can be on the NLEX and on your way to Manila, and in downtown Manila in an hour and 15, 20 minutes using the NLEX and the Skyway. You can use the NLEX and the Skyway to get from one end of Manila to the other in much faster time. The SC-Tex, that's the Subic-Clark-Tarlac Expressway. That's about 15 minutes, again, from where we live. And you can jump over to Subic, which is no big deal. Subic ain't that great. But north of Subic, as you go up through Zambales and all of that, hey, that's pretty nice stuff. The beaches get much nicer. The countryside gets much nicer, and it's better. And then you've got the incoming high-speed rail. Now, of all the projects that were previously started and then scrapped, 3 were restarted. And I think the incoming high-speed rail is probably about 25% complete. And it's going to run and should pretty much just chop time. You should be able to get, according to them, you should be able to get, if you want to use NAIA, you should be able to get to downtown Manila in 45 minutes, according to them. Who knows? But it beats the hell out of a bus, maybe. It's going to be way cheaper than a private car. And it's something else. And that's going to bring more economic growth to Clark and to Angeles. All right. Food. Local food. Western food. Asian food. We have a plethora of good food. Now, again, we get a lot of expats that say, I want to live the Filipino life. Well, you can. You can move 15 minutes outside of town. You can move 20 minutes outside of town towards Purac or San Fernando or some of the other areas. And you can get even into the province areas. Okay, we have a friend that lives out towards Mount Arayat. Plenty of that. But when you want something, you want something. We give you an example. We went to dinner at Texas Roadhouse last night. Next week, we'll probably go to TGI Fridays. At the same time, I can walk down the street and get typical Filipino food, caldereta at Calderia's right down the street. It's all over. And it's good. There are great restaurants here, and there are great local community Filipino type establishments. You can have the best of both worlds. Local transportation, buses, trikes, jeepney, Grab. Okay, yeah, got it all. Now, I just mark buses, trikes, and, well, not buses, but I mark trikes and jeepneys off the list. We only use jeepneys when we're going out locally and we're going to have a couple cocktails. Buses, we only use the Genesis bus that takes us to the Manila airport. It's a non-stop point to point. Okay. But we use Grab all the time when we're going to go someplace and we don't feel like driving. You've got all of that here. Just to give you an idea, yesterday was Thursday. Yes. You lose track of time when you're retired, huh? Yesterday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, rush hour, we brought up the Grab app in our phone, and literally we had a Grab car sitting outside our area, our condo, in 4 minutes. You can't beat it. Entertainment, live music, clubs, events, bars. Yeah. Okay, let's touch on this for just a moment. First off, there's a good amount of live entertainment in Angeles and Clark. The casinos at Clark have some often very good shows. There's live music right down the street from us at 3 different places. Okay? There's live music at a couple of the bars. There are clubs. If you're a younger person, there's Mega Dance, there's Hammer, there's Eclipse, the newest club in town. There's Skytrax. Well, you know what? I don't know what's going on at Skytrax. They're remodeling, rebuilding, or redoing. I don't know. But plenty of other stuff. There are events, lots of events. You know, there's a speedway down the road, racetrack. They have a balloon festival. They have all kinds of events throughout the course of the year, car shows, just all kinds of stuff. And then there's the bars. I mean, we all know that Angeles is synonymous with the bars, but it's not just walking street, okay? There are great bars and resto bars everywhere. It doesn't have to always be a girly bar, but if that's your thing, there's plenty of those. Reliable internet and power. Oh, you better really be good about that. You know, you can take a look at a lot of the other cities, and until you get into a major population center, getting reliable internet and power is not as easy as you think. You know, you can move literally a mile and a half outside of Angeles into Daou or Mabalacat or outside towards Perak. You're going to get brownouts all the time. They call them brownouts here. I say when you don't have power, that's a blackout. Slow internet, unreliable internet. It happens. I can tell you in the past 90 days, we have lost power maybe 4 or 5 times, 6, none of it for more than 10 minutes at all. None. And you're going to have to expect that kind of stuff. Internet. We use Globe, and I will tell you right now, Globe, PLDT, yeah, something like that. Anyways, even when the power goes out, my internet is more often up. They have backup generators, and their service is great. There's a huge multicultural expat population here, and this is a plus and a minus. All right, I get it. A lot of people say, I don't want to be around expats. I left my country because I didn't like those people. Well, good for you. Great. However, for those of you, which are far more than there aren't, they do want to be around that. We have British, we have Australian, we have New Zealanders, we have South Africans, we have European, and I'm not talking about a few. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of them here in Angeles. The diversity is huge. It really and truly is. And that's something that sometimes you want. Sometimes you want to be around and have conversations with and have friends that are uniquely aware of what things are like. Okay? Now, you can be an isolationist all you want, but that's the way it is. Finally, the cost of living and affordability. You know what? It's cheaper than Manila, cheaper than Makati, cheaper than BGC, cheaper than Quezon City in most instances, cheaper than almost everywhere in the NCR area that's habitable. All right. Can you get cheaper accommodations somewhere else? Well, sure you can. All right. Of course you can. But can you get cheaper accommodations where you have multiple large anchored malls with movie theaters? Can you get affordability with 3 major hospitals right there at your fingertips? Can you get the cost of living down when the power works 98% of the time, or with any of the other things that we've addressed. These things are not always conducive to each other. Now, the affordability factor varies, and it all depends on how you want to live. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, how you want to live is not how other people may want to live. What I consider decent, you consider extravagant, or you may consider a rat hole. I have no idea. But let me just say this. If you haven't lived in the Philippines, for these 10 reasons alone, you should at least start in Angeles. Come to Angeles and spend time. You can travel all over the Philippines from Angeles. You can do all of that and then look around. Is there someplace else I like better? Suppose you want to move to Dramageddon. Oh, good for you. Suppose you want to go to Cebu or Davao or parts of Mindanao. You know, we have a home in Mindanao also. All right? So, it doesn't matter. You can check those places out, but let this be where you start. Let this be your base of operations. That's what we think. Hey, in the comments below, and we please do appreciate the comments, let us know what you think. Let us know why you don't think these are important in every respect. In addition to that, please do subscribe and do hit that thumbs up. It really means a lot to us. We hope you have a great day.